extraordinary time here, an unprecedented time of the Tories, most of the Tory party and SNP walking out in protest over Labour being given a vote when they shouldn't have had one under Parliamentary precedent. Joining me now is former leader Sir Iain Duncan Smith. Sir Iain, you've been around longer than I have. I've never seen it before.
No, not like this. And I think it's, for many viewers, they won't understand what's been going on. There's never normally ever a second amendment to an opposition day motion. Opposition days are about giving the opposition a chance to put their motion forward. Otherwise, all they're ever doing is reacting to government. And that was agreed by Labour back before '97. I was here at the time because they complained they never got a vote on their motion, so this was reversed. So that standing order gives them a shot at having a vote on their motion before it's amended. Tonight, that was all put into chaos because I think the intolerable pressure the Speaker was under was to add the Labour amendment in. Now, we know why Labour wanted their amendment in. It wasn't just to express their view, it was to try and stop some kind of rebellion on their part. I personally thought
because their MPs will vote for an SNP policy and have to quit the front bench.
Because under the normal saga, it would have been the SNP first that have voted about the SNP one, not theirs. The government thought this was ridiculous with having two amendments, so it would cause chaos. The government withdrew and said, we're not going to put our amendment to the motion because it's chaotic and messy. And that's the moment when they should have reversed the process back to normal and had the Scott and Nat one done first. But the Speaker is determined that the Labour one would be done first. And that's where the chaos arose, because in all the rows that went on, and they are very genuine because lots of people wanted to express their view in their vote, and they weren't able to do it because in the noise, the Deputy Speaker quickly passed the Labour motion, the Labour amendment. That was the end of it. So the Scott and Nats never got their vote.
That was Rosie Winston, and I've been told earlier they're not even sure that vote was legal.
Well, we've been arguing, there's a lot of argument about whether or not we knew that she'd been putting it to the vote, because, you know, it wasn't paused, silence.
But taking a step back, it's Wednesday evening, and people, it's a lot of information to take on board. But where does this leave the Speaker? Is he in trouble now? Do you think there might be a vote of confidence in him tomorrow?
Well, the Scott Nats have expressed a lack of confidence. I don't know where they'll take it. I'm very fond of the Speaker. He's been very good in many ways, and he's defended our rights. I think the truth is he was put under intolerable pressure by Labour's determination to bend the rules so they can have an amendment, their own amendment. And I think, you know, many on the Labour front bench need to reflect on the position they've left him in, because I don't think it was necessary. There's the differences between the various amendments and motions isn't that great. There are some, and the Scott Nat motion is probably further away. So I just don't see why there needed to be another amendment. People could express their views about this in whichever way they wanted, but by having that chaos, and standing orders are about stopping chaos. So when you bend standing orders, you end up with chaos. We've seen it all before, 2019. Tonight was revisited when we don't want to be there. So for many watching this and listening to this, you know, I apologise to them, because this is not what Parliament should be doing. As a result, nobody got a vote in the end. And that's the worst thing we can.
And the suffering in Gaza continues, and there's no actual will of the Parliament expressed properly.
That's exactly the point. At the end of it all, I think we should rerun all of this, personally, because I think the public should and deserves better from Parliament, and it should never have been... the Speaker should never have been put under the pressure he was.
Will the Speaker survive this, Iain Duncan Smith?
Personally, I'm not after getting the Speaker out. And his apology tonight showed just how much pressure he'd been under. But that's to others. I certainly am not going to be voting to get the Speaker out.
And this idea, there was a meeting earlier with Simon Hart, the Chief Whip, saying apparently that were this to happen, it would unleash hell. It's happened. I mean, he didn't listen to him, did he, the Speaker?
Well, the clerk wrote a letter which has been published, and there it was quite clear that he warned, essentially, that should this be as it was tonight, it could end up exactly where it ended up. That was the warning, with no vote on the Scottish Nationalist Amendment, and it was their night tonight. Not ours, not Labour's, it was theirs, and it ended up being Labour's night with their amendment, and that's why this is not meant to be like this.
Playing politics with something so serious is a bad look for Parliament.
It's terrible. Scott Nats, I mean, I was there saying it's your night tonight. You should be voting. We should be voting on your motion. Then the other amendments come from the government or whatever. It gives you a choice. But can't have. It just doesn't work when you try. And the thing is, the clerk said, it doesn't work. And boy, is he right.
Well, Iain Duncan Smith, former Conservative Party leader, obviously a very senior grand old man of Parliament, expressing concern about how this looked here when Gaza carries on and yet the MPs haven't really voted properly on it.